if I'm gone and the fam bam's gone and I want you to make it, but if by chance you didn't make it, go take whatever you want from my house. It's all you.
Yeah, if you didn't make the rapture, go pillage my house. Feel free. go rob me. That's what will get you to heaven. Don't repent. Don't make things right.
First step in getting it right with the Lord.
Yeah.
Steal from your pastor.
Yeah.
But it's not stealing.
I appreciate it.
You got video. Were you moved by my gesture of generosity?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm looking out for you, bro.
Yeah,
I got some tri-tips in the freezer. I got some ribs. I got some chicken thighs. I got some good food in there. Some shrimp. You like shrimp? I got some shrimp. I got bags of shrimp.
I like how you told Mike about Deshaun.
Nate's convinced if Pastor goes, Deshaun's going too. The one that the room is concerned about is me. And I do appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to take from him too. But he hasn't offered it yet.
So, I ain't got nothing.
So I will receive from you and take from him.
Hey, welcome to Not a Fitted Podcast. It's your boy, Anthony Chicano. I got my guys here. I got the bishop. I got the token. And hey, late breaking news. The rapture didn't happen. The rapture didn't happen.
I was hoping so.
We was going to be out of here with my credit card.
No, I'm just saying hoping so it didn't happen.
I thought we was happy that it was going to happen because, you know, my credit card,
No, I'm hoping I didn't miss the boat.
Oh,
that's what I'm excited about.
Okay. Yeah. Two men walking up a hill. One's left standing still. One is gone. Wish you'd all been ready. Did you know that? Do you know that song? That's an old Christian song.
Oh, I thought it was like scripture.
No, it is scripture, but it's called Left Behind.
No, I don't know.
There's no time to change your mind. You've been left behind. You don't know that song? Mm-mm. Oh my God, we might have to.
I think I've heard that song.
We might have to clip that in. The Newsboys did a remake of that. And it was really,
the Newsboys.
DC Talk did a remake of that, and it got real big. But anyway, the rapture didn't happen, Bishop. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I got no choice. I mean, I know it's supposed to happen right now.
Oh yeah. They said okay. So basically, they were saying during Rosh Hashanah, which is the new year, that was the time that the rapture was going to happen. Basically.
For who?
For the Christians. That was it.
No, it's a new year for who?
It's a New Year's for the Jews. Rosh Hashanah is New Year's for the. I think it's 5786 or something like that. Basically, they were saying that that's one of the only festivals and feasts that basically Christ didn't fulfill, and there's a trumpet that blows, a shofar, and so at the trumpet's call. So anyway, that's what they were correlating it to. But I'm with Mike. The rapture didn't happen, which means we didn't miss it. So either we are on the right track, or we still got time to put the train on the tracks.
But it's either really good or really bad.
Yeah,
I'm going with really good.
Just for, I don't want to make this an infomercial or nothing, but just in case, if you do miss the rapture, it doesn't disqualify you for heaven still. Did you know that?
Yeah, you're still alive.
You're still alive. So you have time to what?
Get it right.
You have time to get it right and repent. Right? So,
but if you miss the rapture, it's going to be bad for you.
Yes.
That's why I said really bad.
Okay. There is the good news and there's bad news. And the good news is still the good news. You can still get it right. The bad news is you're going to pay to get it right now. It's going to cost you a lot. However, I will say I did have a chance to confirm this. The video that I wanted to show, it looked a little AI-ish, so I'm not going to show it. But you can read the reports that the UK is going to a digital ID that is mandatory, absolutely mandatory if you want to buy and sell.
Oh.
So they didn't. I didn't hear a date. Like I said, the video I watched, they threw out a date, and it just looked sketch. I found an article. They didn't really have a date in the article, so I didn't want to play it. But they are moving to, even if you want to go there, you're gonna have a digital ID. And I just thought, man.
What do you think that looks like? A digital ID.
You said who's doing this?
The UK. Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Why? Oh, okay. What were you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're cutting a bunch of money out. money motivates people. So you're not saying the American dollar ain't good enough for you? Yeah, they go flip real quick. Yeah. Hey, Americans ain't coming no more. We need that money. Can we make a change?
We got to make a change. Well, the only reason I say that is because it's not that I'm opposed to thinking Jesus can't return. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. But I do think there are certain signs that are starting to lead in that direction. You know what I mean? The digital ID and all that. I mean, that's all I'm saying. So I think people just get too excited. And here's my, and I know you guys feel the same. Here's my number one warning. If somebody gives you a day and an hour Jesus is supposed to return, what do you tell them?
Just keep on moving.
Keep on moving. Don't listen. Keep on moving. Don't listen. Because what did Jesus say? No man knoweth the what? The hour or the day when my Father has placed in season. So, but the rapture didn't happen. Once again, I agree with you, Mike. Good news, bad news. Good news is we got time to get it right, and the bad news is let's not miss that boat though, because it's going to be real bad if we were. So, but to all those who were worried, we're all still here. I just want to throw out one other thing. If I'm gone, and the fan bam's gone, and I want you to make it, but if by chance you didn't make it, go take whatever you want from my house. It's all you.
Yeah, if you didn't make the rapture, go pillage my house. Go feel free. go rob me. That's what will get you to heaven. Don't repent. Don't make things right.
First step in getting it right with the Lord.
Yeah.
Steal from your pastor.
Yeah.
But it's not stealing.
I appreciate it.
You got video. Were you moved by my gesture of generosity?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm looking out for you, bro.
Yeah,
I got
you
some
are.
tri-tips in the freezer. I got some ribs. I got some chicken thighs. I mean, I got some good food in there. Some shrimp. You like shrimp? I got some shrimp. I got bags of shrimp.
Nate's convinced if Pastor goes, Deshaun's going too. The one that the room is concerned about is me. And I do appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to take from him too. But he hasn't offered it yet.
So, I ain't got nothing.
So I will receive from you and take from him.
Okay, all I'm saying is, well, you're the one always telling me you feel safe if Mandy's on the flight with us. So I just figured I'm married to her, so I get in on the coattails, right?
Wow,
so I get
that's how it works. Yeah. Hey, I'm with her.
Don't ruin my theology. Leave me alone. I'm just saying y'all can help yourself. That's all I was saying.
Very kind of you.
That was funny. Okay. We've been talking about a lot of heavy subject matter, so I'm glad we could get some laughing. I did want to show you something. I know you guys aren't big worship people, okay? I know that. Although you did make a comment earlier, sing the old songs. Everybody likes the old songs. They do. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, people raise their hands. I'm not just saying it just to say it.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's good. It's like you have those moments. I think that's when everyone's like, ooh.
Yeah.
And all the hands go up.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. I love
this one's really about Christ.
Yeah. We actually say Jesus in it. Yes. Yeah. I know you guys aren't that into music like I am, but I do want to show you something I thought was pretty cool. Only because you guys still have small kids, and I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Something lighthearted. Watch this. Okay. Hey, what'd you think? That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's good.
No, I thought that was cool. I just wanted to, that's about as much emotion as you get.
Yeah.
Deshaun obviously didn't care. Look at the way that he was in the video.
How long have you been waiting to do that? You've been waiting a long time to do that, boy. Mike had that in his pocket. Mike had it right back here. It's funny. We're on a roll now. I don't know if you guys just throw out that.
I was thoroughly impressed. I don't know how you can get all four things to be doing something different at the same time.
Well,
that's crazy to me.
If people go back and watch that video, I want you to notice his left foot on actually on the hi-hat, and he could barely reach it. He's on the edge of that.
He's
a prodigy. I've been privileged in my life to have known a real drumming prodigy. I'm not going to name drop, but he does play with large worship bands. He's actually a studio recording drummer. It just so happened when I was at the church when he was there, he was 8 or 9. And so I followed back up with his dad like 10 years later, and he told me where he was, and I was like, whoa.
Could you tell when he was 8 or 9?
Oh, gosh, could I? He was better than anybody in the church. And, and by the way, I was really good friends with the best drummer in the church who himself was a childhood prodigy. And he's the one that told me, hey, him at 8 or 9 is me at 16 and 17.
Wow.
Like he was just, he said, because he's surrounded by his parents, mom could sing, had pipes, could sing. The dad played every instrument. Because he's there, he's going to go further faster. And because they have a network where he's exposed. I think at 14, he had filled in as a drummer for a major band. Like he was just that good. And so when I caught up with the dad again, I found out that he was actually on some of the records of these worship bands. And I was like, oh my gosh. He was like 20, 19. So I just thought that was cool. But I like it because you could tell the kid is just, he loves doing what he's doing. He's using his gift for the Lord. And I love how the people are receiving him and not looking down on him because clearly he's 10, but they're just like, hey, he's got a gift. And I love how the church is embracing that, so it was something good. It was something nice. And I would just go as far as to say this. There's a reason why you should put your kids in some music lessons. I had a philosophy. All the kids were going to do music lessons up to a couple years, like they would do it for a year or two. And if they didn't like it, I didn't push it. And if they like it, I keep paying for it. I just figured we'd give them all a little something, right? And just see if there was an undiscovered and underdeveloped gift there. And so anyway, but back in the day, by the way, schools, you did something with music. You either did arts or musics. So I'm just saying why? Because we all have some.
Yeah, now you get to choose.
What do you do now?
Like they still do like certain instruments, but you don't have to do it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, see, back in the days, it was mandatory. But you kids go to the same school.
Yeah, did you do the recorder?
The recorder?
Yeah, isn't it called a recorder, right?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a little flute. Yeah.
Dude, that was the worst thing ever. You have like 80 kids in one room
It's
playing
like a little wind instrument.
Oh,
hot cross buns or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah. Poor man's flute, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so you didn't do it. You did do. Now, is anybody in your family musically inclined?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just, okay, anybody in your family?
Oh, well, no. My mom plays piano. My grandma played piano.
Okay.
So I had a piano in my house growing up.
Okay. But did she play while you guys were growing up? Your mom?
She'll not
Seldom?
all the time. Yeah. She'll just play at the house. She doesn't play for anyone.
What about you? Did you grow up in anybody musical?
Just me. I'm a singer. Nah, just like that.
We know you're playing, yeah. But you can have whatever's in my house, though. Okay, my guitar's in my house.
Growing up, my family really liked music.
Okay,
but no musicians. And then my wife can play the piano and she can sing, and she's pretty amazing.
So on that side, I like how you threw that in there right there. Just go ahead, shout out. Go ahead, shout out to your wife.
She is
okay. So it's interesting because you guys know we have musical families at our church. And so to see that and to develop that's just pretty cool. That's pretty fun. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things that are trending. And the first one is I was at church yesterday and a couple of our security team was talking about it and stuff. But there was a mass shooting / he did drive his car, is what I heard, his vehicle into the church. It's an LDS church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. His name was Thomas Jacob. He was an Iraq war veteran. He was 40 years old. And it was real interesting to see. The only reason I bring this up is, first off, once again, it goes back to what I was saying a few weeks ago. You can never have too much of a safety team. It's always good to have, a safety team, a security team. That's why we put an emphasis on it. I don't want to get into the motive of why this man, Thomas Jacob, did it. I don't know. I'm not him. All I know is this is why it's important for churches to have a security team. And this is why it's important for us to be aware of our surroundings. This is also why it's important, too, in my opinion, that we train our security teams, that we have plans and procedures in place. The only thing about this that has me upset, and I'm glad, I feel like it's been a little bit more balanced right now, is you have a lot of people tweeting out right now, all violence against places of worship is bad, which is good to hear everybody on both sides saying it. But that was Sunday. Rolled out of bed this morning on Monday, and of course everybody's politicking. And was he a MAGA supporter? Was he not a MAGA supporter? Did he have mental health issues or did he not have mental health issues? My whole deal is this. In order for the community to heal, stop pointing fingers. Just leave it to what we know. This man obviously was very distraught. Happy people don't drive their cars into a building intentionally to kill people. Well, people, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think we need to politicize another thing is what I'm getting at. I think, people say, we got to tone down the rhetoric. Then that means shut up. Stop trying to look for causation amongst a political affiliation. Just look at it for who he was. He was a very broken individual who was obviously either tormented or depressed or maybe both about something, because happy people don't shoot people and then drive their car like a bomb into a church where people are trying to worship. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So my thing is just like, if we want to tone it down, then someone has to go first to tone it down. Am I wrong in thinking that? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, can we not just all just call it for what it is?
Yeah, I think it's just that constant posturing of votes, and it's really unfortunate. I mean, we could talk about the type of church it was and how our beliefs are different from theirs, but
it was an LDS. It was a Mormon church.
But that's not what's important.
It's not.
What's important is that people lost their lives
for no reason.
And so it's like, instead of playing the differences, I'm reminded of, I think the Charlie Kirk stuff kind of reminded me a little bit of, or brought me back to 9/11.
Okay.
And maybe not reminded me. I say maybe brought me back. And like when 9/11 happened, like there was a lot of unity, and even in the differences. After a while, then you started seeing the fracturing. Should we be in war? Should we not? Right? You see the politicking, but the initial episode created this feeling of unity, and humanity. And I think that now, like, there isn't that. There, like, very rarely is there a period of humanity when a crisis happens. Right away, it's posturing. Kids get shot at the Catholic school.
It's
right
posturing.
away, it's posturing.
Right.
This happens. Right. It's like, let's go to humanity first. And then down the line, let's talk politics. Maybe there are some things that we can change. But for right now, can we just love each other?
Right. And be there for one another as we go through this tragedy together.
Yeah.
Right? I thought, Bishop, this is just me, again, just thinking in my own thoughts, right? I thought to myself, yeah, it doesn't matter what type of house of worship he attacked. I feel like an attack on one house of worship is an attack on all houses of worship. It wouldn't have mattered to me if it was a Sikh or a mosque or anything like that. To me, it's a matter that, you think of a house of worship, and the first thing you do think is this is a safe space and a safe place for us to worship. But now people are making, you got these, and I know you got wackos on all sides and every side, upside, downside, everything. Now you got people saying, oh, this is God judging the Mormon church. We don't got time for that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, am I wrong in thinking an attack on one house of worship is an attack on all houses of worship? Is that bad thinking, or what do you think?
No, yeah, you want it to be safe no matter what the faith is. In America, that people can go to church.
Yeah, I'm not speaking for other countries. I'm talking about us. Yeah, for sure.
No, we want it to be a place where anyone can go to any house of worship and feel safe. Mm-hmm.
So why have we lost our humanity in just being able to say that? That you got these crazy people out there now saying, this is God's judgment. It's like, that's not what God does. I don't know. Maybe I'm babbling. I don't know.
Some people just don't have to comment. You don't have to comment on everything. People probably don't even care about the situation, and that's why they don't have no heart for it. Oh. It's just how I just use this. Just, you don't care about the situation, so let's be quiet about it.
Right. Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right. If you're not going to speak from a humanistic and a compassionate side, just
you just see it as a tool. You really don't care. Like, oh, here's another tool to for my own rhetoric.
And in my personal opinion, I don't think we should use tragedies as the tool, especially when there's people who lost a sister or a father or something. You shouldn't use it as a tool. You should be able to have compassion and understanding and just be like, I don't really have nothing positive to say, but you know what? I hope it turns out okay for you. You know what I mean? Something, or say nothing at all and just keep moving. I just think it's unfortunate. So I got to give you guys something that really, I didn't see this coming. I was very surprised. I kind of want to get your thoughts on it. And if I can have a real moment of confession, unfortunately, I wasn't really aware of everything that was going on in this specific place. And I never thought that Bill Maher would make me more aware of something that I should be more aware of as a Christian believer. But I want you to watch this clip because it kind of hit me different. And then if you do a little bit of investigation, this is really a problem. Okay, but watch this clip.
The fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Because no one will talk about it, so thank you.
Absolutely.
It's Africa. That's why no one's talking about it, and they should be. You can't read about it in mainstream media. It's sad, so thank you for bringing it up.
Well, because the Jews aren't involved. That's why. It's the Christians and the Muslims. Who cares? It's just...
Go ahead.
Is he Jewish?
He is Jewish.
I was going to say.
No, he's a secular Jew. Yeah. What do you think about that? First off, were either of you aware of what's going on in Nigeria?
I knew that they had issues. I did not know it was as bad as that was.
Okay,
those
so
numbers.
I only knew they had issues. I think Mandy had mentioned something. She had bumped into somebody at a pastor's gathering, and they talked about sending some supplies to Nigeria. It was a very loose connection, and I actually researched this. That number's a little low. He was given a very conservative number of 100,000 killed. Like, they're saying, we're not sure yet because we can't find people. Like, that number may get all the way up to a couple 100,000. And the only reason we're able to, they said the only reason they were able to track better numbers of the churches because the churches aren't there. So they're able to deduce that, right? And say, this is how we know this. Were you aware of what was going on in Nigeria?
No, I didn't know.
So his statement of saying that if you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, then your media sources suck. I'm gonna have to agree with him on that. That why aren't we acutely aware of 100,000 minimum dead, 18,000 churches destroyed? This is a real problem. Not to mention Boko Haram. Is that not the same people that when I think it was Clinton was Secretary of State, they had kidnapped some girls? Remember? They had kidnapped some girls. I think I'm right. And they were trying to free those girls. And some of the musicians like Beyonce, I think that's who they got involved in trying to free the Boko Haram girls. So it's not like it's not been on the radar with Boko Haram. This is a bad group. This is bad Islamic militants. But why isn't the media covering it? Why don't we know? I mean, America gets involved in everything else. Why aren't we involved? I'm not saying that came out a little harsh, but I'm asking that more of a question like to you guys, like, what do you think it is? Why don't we know what's going on in Nigeria?
Maybe it has to do with politics. Africa in itself, I think, has a lot of layers to it. I mean, that's a whole rabbit hole we can go down. Maybe also having to do with the Muslim and Christian kind of relationship and how that paints the Muslim community. And then keep going. Also have
keep going because I'm going to piggyback off that. But yeah.
So then you have what's going on in Gaza, right? So like you're trying to get people to rally behind the Muslim cry. Well, if you highlight all the atrocities they're doing over here, it doesn't make them look as good over here. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what it is, but that could be it.
What would you think? Why?
Well, as I think about it, I'm thinking, okay, why is Gaza so big? Well, like, why is that area so important? What's going on? And I think part of it is Jewish people do have a lot of power and a lot of money and a lot of influence.
Okay, keep going. So you think what he said at the end is because Jews?
Well, yeah, and it's, I mean, as this is a name, but anyone with power in, and obviously for security for America, and they have a lot of Jewish people here who have money, so they have influence, and so that's what across the board could be any subject, and so that gets blown up because there's people who care about it, that have power and have authority, have money. Who in Nigeria has that same authority and power and money here in America? That's going to bring attention to that. Israel is a big part of what we need in America, right, for security. So we're sending money there. That's a big deal to America. Is Nigeria a big deal to America's security?
Okay.
And so it's like, why
You're right.
Is there a need for America to pay attention to that?
Okay, you're
Russia
right.
is a big deal for America. So you're paying attention to that war. You don't want them to take more land because that's a threat to us. And so people care about that less in the news more.
And Bishop, everything you said was spot on. Spot on for the secularist. Okay?
Yep.
You're right. And I'm not going to argue any of that. I'm going to appeal to your Christianity. These are our brothers and these are our sisters. Why don't people care about Christians?
And that was my next thing. Is like, I don't think we should even worry about why the government doesn't care. It's like, why don't we know? Why don't we care? And then I just like, what's already in? But that goes to my next question. Okay, what's our responsibility?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think people hurt us. Hurt as in HEARD, not hurt. Okay, hurt us I think it was 2 episodes ago, maybe now. We said you need Christians. Like you don't understand. Oh, we were going back and forth on the Christian nationalism. Shout out Voddie Baucham who passed away. Voddie Baucham who passed away this last week too, unexpectedly. Who I started going down the rabbit hole watching all. He did a lot of talks about it, by the way. I didn't know that. He did a lot of talks about Christian nationalism. And he's like, I got to reclaim this word back. And he was saying the same thing we were saying. He goes, you don't understand. The only way you have a prosperous America, a peaceful America, where everybody, the big term is coexist, is if you have Christians. It doesn't work with anybody else. And, he's smart. He's a lot smarter than us. So he starts naming all the countries he's been to. He lived in Africa. He goes, you don't have that here. You don't have that here. You don't have that here. They'll kill you here. They'll kill you there. And man, I don't think people understand, and I don't think we can stress this enough. Again, without Christians, this doesn't work. And here's why. You look at what's going on in Nigeria. As Christians, we're not going to go pack bombs and pack guns and go wipe out Boko Haram. This is not how, for the most part, how we do it. We protect people, but we don't go looking for the fight, is what I'm saying. Doesn't mean we won't stand our ground, but we don't go looking for the fight. Really, we would lean on our government to see what our government can do, how these people are getting funded, X, Y, Z, right? And then can we give them some type of, what do they call it, political asylum? Maybe they have one for those when you're trying to be killed, And so we would try to give them asylum here and let them take refuge here, right? But we should be appealing to our brothers and sisters who are Christians. Hey, speak up to your council members. Speak up to your Senate leaders. Speak up to whoever, your Congress members. Say, hey, can we look into what's going on? Our brothers and sisters are dying for no reason other than their faith. And so I think you're right. But once again, Bishop, I think people underestimate the true power of Christianity and how you need us in a society. Your society does not work without us. Not in the way you think it's going to work, especially in a capitalistic, part of it. Oh, you were going to say, what were you going to say? Yeah.
No, we do, I think we do take it for granted. Because if you just get to do whatever you want to do, you have people running their trucks through churches, running their, shooting kids in schools.
Right.
What moral authority are they falling under? They just I can do whatever I want to do. Exactly.
And that goes to this point too. If you think about it, as believers, we try to help people process their PTSD, help people process and help them to deal with their depression, their anxiety. Are you following where I'm going with this? What we're looking at is the totality of a person's well-being, a wholeness. So we are doing our part, once again, salt and light. Mm-hmm. And we do our best to do it without judgment. And that's where I'm once again, in blessed memory of Voddie, he was spot on that. Like in a good Christian society, we see people with worth. They have a worth. There's a value to them, an inalienable right, because they're created. They're created in the image of God. Period. whether they agree with me or disagree. Matter of fact, as believers, we're the whole reason you could disagree and we don't kill you. That's what you said the other week. Did I miss the Pride Parade in Iran? Golly gee, we missed it. It's because it haven't happened yet. It's not going to happen. So I was thinking about this and once again, that clip with Bill Maher, I never thought that I would say, this guy's been right about a lot of things. And that just goes to show you, if I could say one other thing, truth is truth no matter who is speaking it. You know what I mean? What's that old saying? A broken clock is right twice a day, right? Yeah. Truth is truth no matter who's speaking. And he is spot on. And I like what he said. And I'm not even a Christian. You guys heard my comment. No, he ain't. You can guarantee that. But we need to look into this a little bit more and see what we can do, because these are our brothers and sisters. And I'm reminded of what Christ said. He said, they said, well, when did we help you? When I was poor, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was in prison, you came to visit me. When did we do that? When you did it to the least of these. And so we gotta look into this. We gotta figure out what's going on. Okay, I wanna move along. I believe I mentioned that Voddie Baucham had passed, and I'm not sure how he passed. I haven't heard anything else other than medical emergency.
No, I don't know.
They haven't said anything, but man, shout out to him. If you guys, really great teacher. If you guys are interested in looking up any of his teachings, real solid. Were you a fan?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, so did I. He did a lot with John, huh? Dr. John MacArthur?
He did some. I don't know how much, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was in Africa for I don't know.
Okay, because I think some of the clips I saw, they were like at a conference together. And it looked like John's conference. Mm-hmm. Okay, the Masters conference?
Something like that.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something. Mark Driscoll is back at it, being Mark Driscoll. You can tell we're all fans of him. I'm starting to get irked. It takes a lot for me to get irked, but I'm starting to get irked because I don't like how we just keep making the church more divided. We're almost getting as bad as the Republicans and the Democrats. We almost getting as bad as the blood in the Crips. Like everybody's got to choose a side and choose a color. And that's when you usually go to the song Colors, right? But it's like, can I just show you the clip and why I'm getting irked? And you tell me if you all are getting irked. Let me show you this clip. There we go.
There were 4 tests in recent years for all leaders, but especially Christian and pastoral leaders. What did you do when COVID hit? Right? If you did what the government said, you made your attorney general the senior pastor of your church, and you abdicated your responsibility. What happened with the George Floyd and BLM? Did you jump into the social Marxist narrative that everyone who has something bad happen to them is entirely a victim, and therefore we need to eradicate all law and authority? Number 3, there was the election. And for those who were woke and soft woke, and the difference between the hard woke and the soft woke, the hard woke will just tell you the wrong things that they believe. The soft woke don't say anything. Mm-hmm. So if your pastor didn't say anything, they're soft woke.
They have no spine.
They're even
can't go one way
they're
or
even
another.
jellyfish. They have no vertebrae. And then the murder, the assassination, the martyrdom of Charlie Kirk. If those are 4 massive tests, and if you didn't pass them, you are not a Christian leader. Mm-hmm. You may be a Christian, but you are most assuredly not a Christian leader.
You're definitely a coward.
Yeah, well, and one of the things, too, in Revelation, there's this list of people who don't make it into heaven. And one of them talks about murderers and, perverts. And you're like, I'd expect that. And it says, and the cowards. And it's like, oh, Jesus really doesn't want to hang out forever with cowards.
No, for sure no.
And so cowardice is a sin. Mm-hmm. It's not just a personality. And sometimes we use personalities to excuse sins. Well, I'm just shy. I'm an introvert. It's like, you're a coward. Mm-hmm. You're a coward.
Charlie showed up with courage every day, and he died with his courage, and that.
All right, I'm done. I can't watch all 5 minutes of him pontificating on what a coward is. I can't. I'm irked. Can you tell I'm irked? Y'all need to bail me out before I say something. We'll probably regret later.
What do you think, Deshaun?
He's just as irked. I don't know.
No, I'm not bad. I also make fun of him.
But you know what I thought? I thought, man, You give me a microphone now to do this podcast, and I really hope I don't sound as dumb as him.
Listen. What irks me is he starts off with the COVID. Okay. And he immediately says the attorney general has now become your pastor, your leader. And it's like, bro, take it down a notch, right? Take it down a notch. Why don't you get to know and listen to why some people may have shut their church or what they did?
There's some great churches that if you were asked them if they could do it over, they would say, "Yeah, I would have done it over."
Because you don't know.
Yeah, who had gone through COVID before?
Listen, we opened up for Mark, just so I can get your approval, buddy. We opened up before everybody, and I got fined too. Okay, I got put on the news, Mark.
It was
Super
right
spreader.
It was right after you left Home Depot.
Yeah, it was right after I left Home Depot.
We got put on the news before we opened up.
We did. Yeah,
I was like, man, you guys had church without telling me? I was at home making breakfast.
Sorry, Sean. You're in with us now. But I don't like it because there were people that I love and respected who waited probably, to the fall just to kind of see what was going on, because they care about people. And they're like, hey, I just want to make sure and I want to do this the right way and I don't want to put anybody at risk. And here's the thing. Can I just say we all got our own personal convictions on what we were supposed to do. We happen to live in a state where just up the road in San Jose, they imprisoned the pastor. Like, they weren't playing over here. So, to me, that just, okay, and what about the George Floyd? So you mean, Mark, if we didn't do it your way, but if we did take an opportunity to say, hey, listen, we should talk about racism in America. We should talk about all people are created equal. We should talk about we should have compassion on everybody. If you didn't use that as an opportunity just to talk about things and most people don't want to talk about things, then okay, I get it. But the number one obligation, I said it again this weekend. I'm probably going to say it again next week. The number one obligation we have as pastors is to preach the word of God and make disciples. It's not to come out every time and make some type of political statement. It's not. So I don't know where he was going with that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so what about Black Lives Matters? Are you mad if people didn't get up there and expose that the organization was against the nuclear family, blah, blah, blah? Okay, I understand what you're saying. But it doesn't make somebody a coward if they said, hey, I want to, maybe I haven't really had any black friends and I just want to get to know really the struggle. Because I feel like what makes us different is we have been very balanced. I told somebody the other day, listen, man, I'm as conservative as it gets, but I'm also a real one. Like, I do get nervous when police come around. Like, I do, because I've been pulled over for no reason before, several occasions. We left the movie theater just a few years ago. I was in the Nissan, had the Altima at the time. I bought John Ellis's Altima. We left the movie theater. I didn't get but 100 yards. I got pulled over. And I asked the guy, hey, why you pulled me over? And I didn't know. This is a real law, though, by the way. He says your license plate's covered. In California, you're not allowed to have your license plate covered. I didn't know that, by the way. So I called my buddy who's a sheriff. I said, yo, dog, is this a real law? He goes, yeah, it's a law. We just don't tell you it's a law so we can have a reason to pull you over.
I said it's covered?
Yeah, covered.
With
you're
what?
not allowed to have your license plate covered.
They have like a plastic thing over them.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have it covered. But why am I telling you that? Why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because I love cops. I've got my friends are cops. I work out with a lot of cops. That's not the issue. I'm saying I still do because of what I've been through. And by the way, I never get mad. See, that's the difference. Never get an attitude. He pulled me over, 10-2 position. I explain everything I'm doing. I'm real nice. You know who gets an attitude? My wife. My wife gets an attitude. My wife got pulled over. She was yelling at the guy. So if anybody should be afraid, you should be afraid of my wife when she gets pulled over. She had got a cramp, like a calf cramp. And so she'll tell you the story. And a cop pulled her over and said she rolled through the stop sign. She goes, you know why I rolled through the stop sign? I rolled through the stop sign because I got a cramp in my foot right now. That's why I rolled through the stop sign. Why are you pulling me over? My kids were in the car. They said, Daddy, Mama talk a whole lot different to the police than you do. And I said, she probably does. But I'm a real one. There's nothing wrong with having that honest conversation. So if you didn't use that, but he's using all these things as a litmus test. And what about the election? What about it? What was every pastor supposed to come out with a Trump 2024 shirt on with the MAGA hat on a Sunday morning? In other words, what I'm getting at, and then he tries to use the Bible. And, Jesus doesn't want to spend eternity in heaven with cowards. Bro, out of all, you're supposed to be Mr. Theologian. You know that, right? He's supposed to be Mr. Theologian.
Oh.
No, he is.
Wow.
Write all these doctrinal, dissertational books and stuff.
That's not. I don't think of Maher Driscoll when I think of theologian.
I'm not saying you do, Bishop. I'm saying he's known for this. Oh,
I'm trying to comment.
Okay. All right, I'll keep going. Okay, I'll keep going. You're doing good. So don't join me. But my point is like even in that text, he says outside of the cowards, which means you denied Christ. Not getting up and wearing. Listen, not getting up with your MAGA shirt and your MAGA hat on a Sunday morning is not making you a coward. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, no.
That's not
what he's saying is so ridiculous. He's so off. Like it isn't. Man, I don't care what anyone says. Like Charlie Kirk didn't lead with his faith. Like he was a believer. I believe he's in heaven. And like you don't have to say anything about him on Sunday. Arguing about what if college is a scam isn't leading with Christ.
No.
Like I don't care what anyone says. Like you're wrong. And so you didn't have to get up on Sunday and talk about him being assassinated because of his faith. Because maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but we don't know. And so to say that, you're taking the focus off Christ. And if you feel like you need to do that, I'm totally fine with that. But no pastor should feel obligated, I got to go do this.
And that's where it comes down to personal conviction. And that's all it is. It's not obligation. Listen, I have a pastor friend who actually belongs to Turning Point USA Faith. Like he's all in. He's all in a Charlie Kirk fan. And he said, listen, what I think most people like about me, this is what he's telling me. He says, I'm just real about it. If you're leading with the gospel, you don't throw out MAGA hats. I said, oh, touche. By the way, I hadn't been to anything. No, I'm saying I hadn't been to anything. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a valid point. And he goes, if you're leading with the gospel, then you don't start off with the political questions that are hot topics here on campuses. He goes, but I've met Charlie. I was part of Turning Point USA Faith and all this. And he goes, but he absolutely believed in the gospel and he believed in giving opportunities for the gospel to be preached in everything he did. That's what he did. He says, so I have no doubt that he is a believer and he's in heaven. Oh, okay, great. He goes, but I didn't feel obligated even as a person who's a part, and my church knows I'm actively a part of Turning Point USA Faith. And I didn't feel obligated that I had to say anything because they already know where I stand. But I did talk about the person in whom I know and the person whom I supported. I said, well, that makes a lot of sense. So I get it. And for those who wanted to talk about, good. And those who didn't, okay. But I think what we could talk about is hot topics and the topics that most people are feeling. It was a national, it was live. And you're able to say, and if all of your statements, even Bishop T.D. Jakes said something. By the way, I should have brought you that clip. I didn't see that coming. Mm-hmm. You know what he said? He goes, no one, I don't care who you are, deserves to be assassinated and murdered on camera like that. I don't care what your political ideology is. No one should be killed in front of their kids. And all of you who are celebrating it, stop it. That's not Christ-like. I was like, whoa. Balance. If anything less, that's all you needed to say. Mm-hmm. You don't need to say anything else. But that right there, that irks me.
Well, he makes it seem like it's so easy to pastor. Like those decisions were so easy to make.
And can I give you a verse? It is if you love those who love you. Jesus said, if you only love those who love you, what do you get? Your reward's here. Because he's not loving people who don't love him. Because when you love people who don't love you in return, it's hard. It's messy. It's complicated. You got to lean in when they talk. You got to hear what they're saying. You got to go with Jesus and say, what? That extra mile. So if you don't love people who don't love you, because you know what he does with his critics? Oh, they're just my critics. I'm going to go back to my echo chamber. Mm. He's not trying to win somebody who really doesn't believe anything like him. I'm trying to win everybody.
This is almost like a career politician. Like, I've already made it. You know, so it doesn't
placate to my base.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what these. I can be as bold and as kind of arrogant to an extent, right? Like there's certain lines I can't cross.
That Home Depot was pretty aggressive and pretty abrasive.
Yeah, it's probably to his base though.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but so same thing with like a politician, like outside of like something that might get you kicked out of office, right? Outside of something that might get him kicked out of the pulpit, maybe again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
So because it already happened once,
It did,
right?
Up in Seattle.
Yeah.
It did.
So
and listen, and I can respect him as a human being. I can respect him as a fellow pastor. No, I meant to say fellow Christian. Let me rewind that. I can respect him as a fellow believer. Pastor, I'm struggling. I don't see him being very pastoral.
well, that was the knock on him when he got in trouble last time.
When he got in trouble up in Seattle, yeah, I really don't though.
He's just not a nice guy. It doesn't look like he's a nice guy.
Well, somebody said this the other day. They said, it don't cost you nothing to be kind, and you could even say the truth in a kind way without being a jerk, and maybe people should take a leaning to that. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, man. I literally, as serving yesterday, helping someone pack snacks, and we're talking about politics because they want to talk about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it with someone.
Exactly.
And so we talked about faith and politics together, and just like really just dove down, and they're just telling me their story and where they're at now. It's like I'm not afraid to talk about it, but for Sunday morning, it's just I want people to get saved.
Yep.
I don't care what you came up politically. Then we can have discussions afterwards.
Yeah. Well, by the way, there's no donkey or elephant in the kingdom. There's just a lamb. So you better get used to it. And it's going to be diverse despite what people think. It said every tribe and every nation. So anyway, that just irked me. We got a list of 4 things now. And by the way, guys, I am the judge and jury. If you didn't pass all 4, you failed and you're a coward. Thanks. It makes I feel all warm and fuzzy, right? As if I've got to impress you. This guy. Anyway, all right. So we got out of the book of James. I think other people should read the book of James, huh? Am I the only one that feels like James just is one continuous butt whipping? Am I alone in that? How do you feel about James? Shorter chapters than Luke, let's be honest.
Yeah, a lot shorter.
Lot shorter. Yep, lot shorter.
How do you feel about James? What were you going to say?
Nah, I think it's good. I mean, I guess that's what type of stuff I like reading.
Oh, do you,
Yeah,
you
that's
like
how-
being hard on yourself or something?
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't. I like being easy on myself.
Oh, it's a little Proverbs 2.0.
Hey, bro. But James don't mix words. Like, he's just calling you out on everything. Hey, you didn't get that prayer answered? Because you asked the wrong prayer. That's why. Something wrong with you. I'm like, dang, James, go a little easy.
But one of my favorite, my favorite scriptures is like, he was a man just like we were. Yeah, I just love that.
Why does that always speak to you?
I need to pray more. And it's just, man, this shows the power of prayer. And it's like, and I want to live that way. Like I want to put it on I've been wanting to put it in my room or in my house or on the wall for like years.
Get a tattoo. Let's go. Every bishop, chip in for the bishop on a tattoo right here. Come on, guys. I got the first 5 on it right there. We're gonna get the bishop a tattoo.
Where do you
Jeremy
want it?
got
Right
5.
here?
Yeah, I want a neck tattoo.
Yeah, well, not getting a tattoo.
Just put it right here.
Yeah. Get praying hands right here.
But it shows,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe something in me just like I doubt that prayer is powerful. I don't know what it is. It might be that. Like I got to constantly remind myself that, hey, you need to pray.
It's the Jerry Derman conversation again, huh? Like, man, you really believe that?
But I guess maybe it's something I just maybe struggle with because that's always been that. Then him bringing stuff up like that. Maybe it's just, as I look back on it, maybe it's just the weakness I have that I have to keep reminding myself of. Like, no, you need to continue to pray and pray more. Even though I'm preparing a sermon, I'm like, man, how much did you pray? Like, I read a lot, I studied a lot, but how much did I actually pray? Like, so, yeah.
Yeah, that's equally important. I think I've told you guys, Saturday is my own personal. I do a 3-mile walk. Saturday is my personal reflection time. I just kind of reassess my week. I check in with myself. And Sunday, man, I get up and that next 3-mile walk is like, Lord, are we switching up anything in the sermon? Because Saturday morning I'm praying. When I'm at prayer, I'm praying for the service and all that. But Sunday morning is all dedicated to like, hey, are we good? Are we throwing a slider in here? A little baseball talk,
Yep.
Playoff season.
Playoffs.
We doing a change up. We doing a reliever. We getting a reliever in. But absolutely got to pray and seek that. But yeah, James. James, we're in Daniel now. But was anything stood out to you? I got something I want to run by you guys from Daniel. But go ahead.
No, go ahead with Daniel.
Reading. I'm in the New King James. So I think I told you guys that I'm going through this time around in the New King James, and it said that Daniel had purposed in his heart already.
Was that 8?
Yeah, I didn't write down the verse, but I think it was like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I saw this morning.
Yeah, because I devoted on it, and you know what hit me? This is so bad. Sometimes I feel bad for pastoral confessions, because I know people have me up on a pedestal. Don't put me up on a pedestal. Trust me, I'm too big, and when I fall, I make a big boom. You guys don't have to answer. I'm gonna pick on me. I won't put you guys in trouble. But I've premeditated my sins before. You like that one? Like, I knew I was gonna sin. I'd already planned on it. Okay, I'm not alone. That's good. Now you guys haven't, because you never know who's watching this, but I have.
And then because of your repentance, I'm the one left after the rapture.
Yes. Yes, because I know how to Psalms 51 repent. And when I saw that verse this morning, I was like, no, Anthony, you get to choose. You could already set out today and purpose today to honor God. You could set out today and you could purpose today to live a righteous life. You could set out and purpose today to walk in forgiveness, to walk all those things. I probably should have prayed a little bit hard, but every time I watch that knucklehead talk, it just irks me. Like, gosh, it irks me, right? But it's something you have to purpose in your heart. And that just told me you are in charge of your feelings and of your emotions and of your actions. I love this quote. You're born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your decisions. And that's where this comes into play. He purposed in his heart. He had already got up and said, I'm going to honor God. I'm going to honor Yahweh. I will not eat the king's meat. He purposed. Anyway, go ahead. That just was stood out.
Oh, I mean, I didn't read yours this morning, but I had the same one. Yeah. It was verse 8. And my translation said that he had resolved not to defile himself.
Oh, I love the word resolve, by the way. Yeah.
And kind of like one of the things that stuck out to me was like, I've got to determine. I told myself, this is what my devotional says. I determine ahead of time that I'll fight against all attacks from the enemy, so that when they come, I've already prepared myself to fight.
Wow.
Each day is a choice in whether I'll defile myself with the things of this world.
Yeah, love it. You know why I like the word resolved? Because that means you've settled it already. I'm not turning back. I think, Bishop, that's where most people go wrong. They don't settle it. They still think plan B in the world is an option.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, just a little, like just your wording, a little bit disagree with, like, it. You can have that feeling and it still doesn't matter because you resolved it in yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't think you always can control your feelings. I think sometimes, like, I'm gonna feel this way.
Okay.
Like, you're angry at your spouse, but it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna treat her right.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, you're gonna resolve in yourself. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, like, you're like, man, I want to get rid of this feeling. Sometimes you're just not gonna be able to.
Yeah.
You're gonna just have to work through it. It might take a day or two for you to work through that feeling.
And that's
Well, I
where
think that's the fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I mean. You are still controlling.
Yeah, and I'm saying I know you know that. I think for everyone to hear, just like, you might still have that feeling that you're going to say, like, nah, I'm not going to listen to that.
And I like how you gave a marriage example, because we all know that's real.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're not resolving in your heart to never have ups and downs.
Right.
You're resolving in your heart, like, I'm not going to fail.
Right. No, absolutely.
I'm going to fight.
But I think that's where most believers are going wrong. They haven't resolved it. They haven't purposed it in their heart. They haven't said, listen, I know this is going to, X, Y, Z, whatever, but I'm committed. I'm loyal to the soil. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to work through this. It may take me some time. And by the way, can I say one other thing? You may not even like it. You know how many trials I've been through? I don't like them. Somebody asked me the other day, like, hey, are you better because of what you went through? Well, I don't know. Maybe. I'm assuming, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, they make it sound like I like to know. I like buffets when they serve prime rib, mashed potatoes, and gravy. That's what I like. I don't like going through some hard times. But I resolved that even in the hard times, I'm with the disciples. Where else am I going to go? Where else am I going to go? You know what they say? Moses chose not to indulge in the fleeting things of Egypt and the things that were passing, but he fixed his eyes towards the eternal. That's the only reason I can keep going. It's because I fixed my gaze towards the eternal. And I think most people have a resolve. They still think there's something better in the world. Anyway,
I was talking to Pastor Carlos last night after Vision Night, and he's talking about how the Venture Church started and how God had, I think it was something special that God brought together. And as we were talking about this, like, we all had this resolve, like, no, I'm going to give my life to this, even if there's no financial return or just like all these things like you think of in a world, like how you want your return to be. It's like, no, I'm willing to sacrifice this much, this for the church, this for God, and that's it. Like there's no other like benefit here on earth in that way that you may not see. Obviously, there's been like our kids and all these amazing things, but it was like, man, it was something special to see like God put that together. These people who have to resolve like, no, I'm going to do this. From all of us have to go. You know, we taught every single class at the church that we had cleaning schedules where you had another job, but you had a week you had to go down and clean the church. Like all these things, like no, I resolved like, no, this is going to work. Like, God, you've called me here, and I'm dedicated to this, and we're going to see this where this leads. And there's like something special during that time that God did.
Do you remember? You remember getting off, working all night, Friday night, smart final Saturday. We had to run to the church and clean.
Yeah.
Remember that? Because we're like, man, I'm not going to get up and want to come back at night and clean. Let's just go right now. Yeah. You remember we would just be setting up
Painting
youth
the
group,
foyer.
painting the foyer.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
like,
5-6 times.
A ton of times. Painting it just over and over again. It was like it's just something special God did.
Yeah.
In that, and I believe instilled in all of us that like, no, you're going to fight for this.
And I think that's why I get so upset and irked by Mark Driscoll. It's because like we're not the only ones who've paid a price like that. And just because a guy didn't handle the situation that you thought he should handle it a certain way, you gonna call him a coward?
Well, not only that, but there are people that are going to listen to you.
Okay.
And so he plants the seeds of division inside of churches.
You're right.
And so it's kind of like a double whammy for me. It's insulting to the pastors, but then it's also divisive to the church.
Yeah. Because you don't know the other price other pastors have paid who were doing the same thing we were doing. Working a job, coming here, cleaning the church, still making the phone calls, still doing the hospital visits. And just because he didn't handle one situation the way you thought it ought to be handled,
now you have his congregation questioning him.
calling him a coward. Well, it wasn't very cowardice to set aside his own personal agenda to make sure that they had a fresh word on Sunday. You see where I'm going with that? That's me. I feel like that's what irks me. There's no kindness and there's no gentleness in that. There's no encouragement in that. I understand you feel like you're the rod and the hammer and you need to correct everything, but you don't bring a hammer for everything when you're building a house. A hammer doesn't put in an electrical outlet. You need a screwdriver. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the part, because there are pastors who are making the sacrifice. Yes, we have a beautiful, unique story. I love telling people, absolutely, amen. But I know I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. And that's why that stuff irks me. And speaking of that, Vision Night. And if you guys want to talk about something I said on Sunday morning, that's fine. Everybody was buzzing about the transactional and reciprocal relationships. Mm. That's great. That was their freebie, but mine was Sunday night. Were you guys aware of when I was talking about 2 Chronicles 7:14? Shout out, by the way, Pastor Tyler Johnson. He was the one in Napa who spoke on this. And the moment he spoke on it, I was like, this is a fresh word. God brought me here for this reason alone. I ran with it. Matter of fact, I asked him for his notes. I said, give me he's got it all printed out on those timelines from Hezekiah, King Asa, all those guys. So that's how I knew all that, because he'd done all the heavy lifting. Actually, he said, this is what he says. He says, I had that, what is it, logo software? Mm. Is that how?
Hey, I just got that.
Okay, hold on. No.
Wait, you got it?
It's a subscription now.
Okay. Oh, no. I got.
I just literally just got it. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, you're taking it all personal. I mean, you give some eyes right now.
No. It's an inside thing.
Yeah, we've been trying to get this for a few years.
Okay,
now.
it's too expensive.
It ain't cheap.
No,
it's cheaper now.
But okay.
Yeah.
Well, praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Well, listen, why? So he says, I have this logos. I love it. He goes, but I'm going to tell you what's anointed right now. ChatGPT. That's what he says. Hold on. Just let me finish.
Well, parts of sorry.
Let me finish. So he said he had chat. It's the prompting of questions. Exactly what you always say. So he said, basically he went through 2 Chronicles 7:14 and the last, 15 and 16. And when you turn away, you could come back, renew your, okay. Anyway, he listed all these kings, all the righteous kings. And every time there was a revival, with the exception of King Josiah, where they had lost the word of the Lord, it was always 50 years, apart. It'd go down, and then right about the 50th mark, boom, something would happen. And then not the reign, because the reign, everybody's reign was longer than others, okay? But from the end of the reign to falling away to the revival again is about 50 years. Then he went through the American, and I'm sitting there listening, the Moody's, the Wesleys, the Pentecostal movement, the early 1900s, Azusa Street, all that stuff. I mean, that was all, this is incredible, this great awakening. Then he got to the Jesus movement. And the reason, which started in like 60 or 62, somewhere in there. Okay, don't quote me. I'm so familiar with that because that's Pastor Ron and Susan. They got saved. Literally, Susan got saved down there in SoCal on the beach during the Jesus movement. She heard music playing, went to see what it was about, got saved in SoCal, Pirates Beach, Pirates Cove, got baptized. It's part of my spiritual lineage through my spiritual parents. So I'm all ears. I know all about Lonnie, and that was the Chuck Smith story, the Jesus Revolution, the movie that came out, that Greg Lowry's so involved in and invested in, all this stuff. And to me, Lana Frisbee, that is, by the way, you guys could look him up. All this stuff, and then when he says 1975, my spiritual antennas just go crazy. And I'm like, and the first thing I think is, why not here? Why not now? Why not? And something is different. So we talked about that with Ohio State, remember? The football team leading church services and all these people getting baptized. We saw a little precursor with the revival that busted out at that college. Remember about 2 years ago?
Kentucky.
In Kentucky. So we're seeing little glimpses, and now we're seeing, churches, the attendance is up, all this stuff. And I'm just sitting here thinking, why not us? Why not here? Why not now? It's 50 years. Because they said it tapered off in 1975. Two things I want to bring up. Normally, when there's a move of God, you have a lot of salvations, but there's also a lot of songs. In that Jesus movement era is where we get our modern day contemporary worship. And it wasn't just worship, it was from gospel to contemporary worship. If you look at the gospel artists between 1960 and 1975, it's incredible. It's incredible the voices that were out there and the music that was being put out, the anointed music that still makes people raise their hands. And it was incredible. And I see it here again now, not just in our own church, but something's brewing, something's happening. And I was just so blown away that I was like, I've got to talk about it. But I feel like this next 5 years, a prophetic word that God has given me is going to come to pass. That what happens here in this Central Valley in Fresno, not only are we going to feed the world physically, because we do, something's going to break out here spiritually that people are going to come take a look at what God is doing. So anyway, that's why I wanted to share the miracle vision. And that's why you guys saw the corn out at the property. He goes, you're about to reap where you have not sown. And that was the illustration of the corn that is growing that I never sowed. And so I just wanted to share. Anyway, that was my heart. I wanted to give a little bit more of an explanation, but what do you guys think? That or yesterday, yeah.
Deshaun touched on it a little bit about just our story as a church and where we've come in a relatively, I guess, short amount of time. Depending on how you look at it, could feel like a long time or a short time. And to be able to see just kind of a fraction of our church there last night and just how many people it is now, and just going around and talking to people and being able to share stories and hear where they're at and hear what life changes happened here, it was really incredible.
What about you, Bish?
Yeah, man, I really do hope it's the case. I mean,
Do you get leery when people use the word revival? Do you get leery?
No, that word doesn't bother me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's people come back to Jesus, giving their heart to Jesus, recommitting their life to Christ,
Yeah.
So I know it could be just however you view it. I guess people's definitions can change, but to me, it's just people coming saying yes to Jesus.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, whether you're a believer or coming first time.
Absolutely.
But man, I do hope it happens for our church and the church in general, just to grow, especially here in California, because I think we can make the immigration issue, I think the church can solve. I think we can do that in a loving way. I think those major things, as the church grows and grows in power, grows in influence, we can have a major impact where we see things get better. Man, what changed in California? Oh, the church. The church grew. People committed their life to Christ more. People gave more. People got involved more, and we see those changes.
Absolutely. People
love their neighbor better. All those different type of things, I think, happens when the church grows. I mean, this is what Christ died for. So, my hope is to see that in the church.
Yeah. What's the answer to homelessness? The church. What's the answer to poverty? The church. What's the answer to immigration? The church. Yeah, God's people, absolutely.
And you really do the society that we live in today, you need numbers. I can afford just to go and help, really make a huge difference. I can help a person. But when we come in huge numbers, and we see that when we all come together and with our little, we can make a huge difference. And we see that like the Fresno mission, like they don't take any they don't like taking government assistance.
Always comes with strings attached.
Yeah, and so they want to do it. So you see that's believers given to that and what the impact they're able to make better than any organization. I know people in law enforcement, they want people to go to the Fresno mission because they know they're actually going to get better. Now people don't want to go there because it'll require you to get better, but you just see the impact they can make.
Yeah, I shout out Fresno Rescue Mission on that one, absolutely. Yeah. The word revival, it shouldn't scare anybody because it means either you're spiritually awakened to a deeper walk with Jesus or you're spiritually awakened to your first walk with Jesus. So it really shouldn't. And we should be praying for that. I'm just so excited because we need it. We need it, I told everybody the other day, if God felt like your greatest need was some, political freedom, he'd have made me a politician. If he knew your greatest freedom was a financial advisor, then I'd be smarter than what I am with stocks, right? But he knew you needed a pastor, and that's why I'm a shepherd. And so I'm excited, though. I'm excited because I know for us, I sit out there at the property. For those of you who don't know, we own just under 11 acres out on a property that we want to build a building, that we will be building a building here soon, one day. I really sense riding on my lawnmower, mowing down the pecan field, just like, wouldn't it be crazy if in 5 years we're sitting in a building that is paid for and we're having a church service and it's like, hey, we saw this 5 years ago. Like, after all we've been through and everything, and I just say, well, why not? Why not if we collectively get together and say, hey, this is what we want to do? I mean, where else are we going to? We can't keep growing like we're growing right now. Where else are we going to go? I mean, we're limiting ourselves here again, But I don't want to be the reason. There's an old saying. People say, slow down. You're moving too fast. I'd say this to you. I'd rather move so fast that God has got to slow me down than move so slow that God has got to get someone else. And that's where I'm at. And you're right. I'm giving everything I got. I'm swinging for the fences on this. And I believe because it makes a difference. I had a couple come up to me yesterday. 4 years clean. His wife's crying. He's all excited. The marriage has never been better. He said God is restoring their family. Been locked up numerous times. He's preaching out of prison he was once locked up in. We got tons of stories like that. Tons of stories. That's revival. We're going to baptize more people next year than we ever have. We're going to watch more people get baptized in the Holy Spirit than we ever have. We're going to watch more people get saved than we ever have because God is on the move. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we give our life for it. That's why we give our life to what Jesus died for. I think to me, this is paramount. And I thought, man, when Chuck Smith tapped in, and I'm going to use vernacular we all understand, okay? When Chuck Smith, Calvary Chapel, Costa Mesa, tapped into the vein, what was the Jesus Revolution, it set his church's mission for the next 25, 30 years. That small window of 5 years. Boosted that trajectory. That's what I'm sensing for us. This next 5 years, from our quinceañera, our 15th year, to our 20th year, it's going to be something special. We're going to plant more churches. We're going to build buildings. It's going to be impressive. And I couldn't be more excited about that. I really feel like this is the next great awakening. This 5-year window is going to be something unprecedented and unparalleled. And I'm just going to tell everybody I know. And like I said, matter of fact, I had texted Tyler right afterwards. I said, that's a word. That is a real word. That's a rhema word. So I thought in honor of that, I know you're a big fan of Patrick McDavid. I don't know if you've ever heard his testimony. I found a clip of him and his testimony, and I just thought, I did choose him for another reason. And let me just real quickly. In the Bay Area, you can Google this. There's not much information, though, okay? I'm just because I was going everywhere looking for it. Peter Thiel, ring a bell? Does that name ring a bell? Do you know who Peter Thiel is?
I've heard his name. I just know him being rich in tech.
Very rich.
Yeah.
PayPal, Well, he was one of the first investors in Facebook, Uber. So he becomes this basically money guy and venture capitalist. But he's had his hand in like, I'm going to get this wrong, but it's like either 5 or 10 major companies. Okay. Well, Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance, that's his guy. J.D. Vance is Peter Thiel's guy.
I need to be Peter Thiel's guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, proximity's everything, baby. Shoot. So he just led a class. It's either 3 or 4 part series on AI and the Antichrist. He is investigating, like a Joe Rogan, the things of Christ. That's a game changer. And he led it with the article I got. I don't know how true it is because there's not much out there, but he led it for those who are in the tech world. He led it for those who are in the engineering world. Like this was an invite only type of deal where all these people who wouldn't normally go to church, God is doing something. If God is, can we be honest? We live out here in Cali. If God is moving in the Bay, God is moving. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's how we can say it like that. So that's why I wanted to show you that. But I believe there's more stories like that to come and other influential people like Patrick Bet-David's story on believing in God. Watch this one, Bishop.
Yeah, I don't believe in God. I don't read the Bible. But I sit there, started praying 3 times a day. My prayer started like this. God, I don't believe in you. I think it's fake. I think it's for weak people. But if you're out there, great. I want to know something. But if not, I'm talking anyways. And I said, God, I haven't spoken to my mom for 5 years. But if you exist, I would love to talk to my mom. 30 seconds later, my Nextel, I get a call from a block number. Scariest moment for me. I don't want to answer the phone. And I flip it, and it's my mom crying. So why are you crying? She says, I got the feeling you were in pain. But I don't know how to talk to her. I hang up the phone. I sat in that car that night, top of the hills. Chills all over my body. I'm like, oh my God. Either this is ironic or this is real, but the level of coincidence is a little too real. I could have chosen to say it's ironic. I chose to believe it was God, and he has my back, and he's had my back from day one. That level of confidence I got from that moment that somebody was watching me and had my back is the reason why I am where I'm at today. I make my decisions purely knowing he has my back. And if you ask me what's one of my biggest fears.
Did you know that story?
No, I didn't hear that one.
That's crazy, huh? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. What'd you think of that story?
Yeah, I think it happens to a lot of us. You get this point where you get to choose. Mm-hmm. You get to choose. Is it just ironic? Mm-hmm. Or is God real?
Yeah.
And he...
Okay, the only funny part, his story's not funny, but the funny part is I hung
he hangs
up on
up.
my mom.
He hangs up.
I thought, bro, why'd you? Well, he said
I've been wanting to talk to you for years.
Yeah, yeah, it's too real. It's too real. I thought that was, it's cute and funny at the same time, but no, it's good. Okay, let's close it out. So, talking about this revival. Now, this is a personal question, so please answer it any way you feel free. If you had to draw up like a little script, right, Mike, or right, Deshaun, both of you, and you're like, hey, this is what I see. This is my perfect picture of what a revival would look like. I want you to share your heart. I want you to share your heart with the people. Like, hey, this is what I would consider like, hey, man, this is awesome. This is pretty cool. This is what I'm looking for. What would you say? What would you tell people?
There's a lot of layers to that one. I'll just choose one.
Yeah.
I would love to see healthy men.
Okay. Talk to us.
I'd love to see men lead their homes well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see men parent well.
Okay.
Love their wives well. Mm-hmm. I think that if we saw men take the place that God wants them to take, we would be seeing miracle after miracle after miracle. And in doing so, the ripple effect would be so beautiful, as you'd have healthy kids, you'd have healthy marriages, you'd have healthy communities, you'd have thriving schools. All the things that we want politics to fix would come from a healthy man.
Yeah, amen to that. I like that. Hey, you don't have to top that, okay? That was good. But I do want to hear your heart. That was good.
In the same vein. I literally was talking about this last night too. It's like the thing that I would love to see is older couples be really commit their life to Christ, like in terms of serving.
Oh,
like being
go
active in the church, like these healthy relationships, healthy older men and women who've been married for a long time, who've had their struggles but have made it through. To really like commit to being involved in church. really be committed to disciple other people and other
Love
couples, and being at the men's group and the women's groups, like, and leading classes. Like, I feel like that's one thing that's still just missing. Like, they make it to a point, they're like, all right, we made it. And they just sort of just chill. It's like, oh, I'll just go to church. It's like, man, if they were commit, just have that resolve, like, no, we're going to be involved until we die. Like, what more can I give? I think it would change a lot.
Man, I don't know how. I don't know what to say to either of those. Those are real good. I feel like this has been the Not Offended, right? I was talking to a brother. It's funny, an older man yesterday. Great marriage, good kids. And we were talking about one of his kids in particular. And I said, hey, I love your kid like if they were my kid. Like, I'm getting that old now. Really. You guys aren't, of course, but I am. And I said, I've learned something that I think has really helped me. And I said, I rejoice with people who rejoice. Because I know one day when it happens for me, I want to better rejoice with me, right? And I was thinking to myself as we were both just laughing, because then we started talking about some other stuff, and we just laugh and having a good time. And I was like, I really want to see people be excited again. Like, be excited. And by the way, in all aspects. Hey, we're going to, not that this will happen. Now I'm speaking hyperbole, right? We're going to the book of Leviticus. I know that's not going to happen, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just excited. And if you do, something wrong with you, right? But that people are excited to be the word. It says that when Josiah found the word of God, people rejoiced. They were excited to hear the word. I want people to be excited about. I want people to be excited about when it's praise and worship time, even if it's not their jam. And we all got a jam. I agree. Or their favorite singers up there, right? I agree. But we're excited that we in the house of the Lord. I was glad, David said, when they said unto me, let us go to the house of the Lord. I was glad. In other words, I was anticipated all week long. I want people to be excited when whoever gets up to preach the word, like, all right, this is it. We're going to lock in. You got about 30 minutes. They're going to give us a good word, and I'm going to respond to this word. I want to be excited for them to see other people at church. Hey, I hadn't seen you since last week. What's going on? I want them to build authentic relationships where we actually do life together. I want them to be excited to give. Yesterday, I told everybody what I plan on giving. As a couple people approached me. I could tell they were a little hesitant, like, are you for real, for real? And I think what shocked them the most was, like, I was excited about doing it. Now, I will admit, there's a little bit of a nervous. People thought I was playing when I said, like, do you need a tree cut down? I wasn't playing. That was real. The only part that wasn't real is I said, if you need a neighbor taken care of. That was a joke. That was went a little Anthony on that one. But there was no Holy Spirit in that. That was all flesh. But I want people to be excited to give. So when we get ready to do Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I want people to be excited. Why? A, we can do two things. We can help pay for the cure, and we can help pray for the cure. That's being the church. I want people to be excited when we go Christmas coming up. We're going to adopt a couple schools. I want us to be excited when it comes to prayer. All these great moves happen because God's people decided to pray. I want people to look at Saturday and be like, man, that's my time to pray. I got to get down. I can only make it 30 minutes, but from 8 to 8:30, God, I'm all yours. I want people to get their excitement back, their joy back. Because I feel like if we do, then it's going to be like people who really support winning football teams. They're always happy. Now, I wouldn't know what that's like, but it's okay. Because my team, Jesus, never loses. And so, therefore, I can stand on that, right? And so I just want people to find that. I think if we find men who are excited to go home, to see their wives, to see their kids, if we find older couples who are excited to pass along that wisdom, it kind of chuckle. I see young couples going through things now. Manny and I just kind of chuckle. Oh, that's cute. They're going to get over that. Don't worry about it. You know, I remember telling a young buck the other day, I said, hey, that's normal. Give it 5 years. You won't fight about that no more. It's normal. What? Take it down a notch, bro. It's normal. Kick back. Been through worse. I'm excited to see that. I think if we see these things, look out. People going to be walking in on Sunday. People going to be like, dude, what is different about this place? Younger generation will be like, there's a vibe in here. Now, what you call a vibe, we call in the presence of God.
Amen.
And he will change your life. This has been the Not Offended Podcast. We out.